Yeah,
But
that's why I
people were
said we
saying that she's a big part of the problem for him, and some of the things that she was doing, a woman would not. She would have some sort of role in what
Right.
her husband does, and
Right.
if she was secure with herself and with the situation, not saying you gotta like it,
Right.
she would have her husband handle it
Right.
because this is a black community. This is a black man.
Y'all, not Jay Z's secret son exposing Beyonce for trying to unalive him? What? Not Queen B? Well, Jay Z's alleged secret son, Rymir Satterthwaite, has been trying to get Jay Z to acknowledge him for more than 10 years now. And he is now claiming that Beyonce is the reason that Jay Z has been refusing to acknowledge him. But Rymir is ready to go all the way there with Beyonce and Jay Z because he brought some receipts to expose Beyonce of allegedly sending hitmen after him to unalive him because she is allegedly terrified that Rymir is going to come after Jay Z's billions. Y'all, come on in the room and sit down because we've got to break down this drama because there is so much insanity going on right now.
The Beyonce thing came when a friend of mine who knew her, somebody in her camp,
Okay.
and she said something supposedly, this is all hearsay,
Okay.
about regarding saying Rymir needs to go away, little boy, something to that effect. There was something out there.
Now, in case you haven't heard the latest tea about Rymir and the Carters, let me spill the tea. Word on the streets is that Beyonce does not want Jay Z to acknowledge Rymir because it's going to make things messy, especially when it comes to the inheritance. Now, for those who haven't been following this story, Rymir claims that Jay Z hooked up with his mom, Wanda, back in the 90s. Even though they used protection, allegedly it failed and she got pregnant with Rymir. However, she couldn't contact Jay Z at the time because they lost touch with each other. Well, when Wanda gave birth to Rymir, her boyfriend at the time signed a birth certificate. And according to an insider, her on and off again boyfriend at the time, Robert, knew the baby wasn't his but put his name on the birth certificate while Wanda was unconscious, recovering from the birth. Initially, he felt sorry for Wanda, but later he used it so he could collect extra food stamps and benefits. Both were minors at the time, so he shouldn't have signed anything. Now, Rymir spilled some more tea, claiming that his mom, Wanda, told him when he was 8 years old that Jay Z was his real dad. Wanda reportedly tried every trick in the book to get in touch with Jay Z, hoping he'd step up and take responsibility, but he just kept blocking her by lawyers and publicists. But my girl Wanda was a fighter and she didn't give up. She decided to go the legal route, taking Jay Z to court to legally determine if he was Rymir's biological father. Unfortunately, the case got tossed out because the judge claimed that the court didn't have jurisdiction. Well, sadly, Wanda passed away not long after, but before she did, she signed a sworn affidavit declaring that Sean Carter, aka Jay Z, H to the Izzo, V to the Izzy, was indeed Rymir's father. Now you'd think that that would be enough to get Jay Z to step up, right? But he didn't. He did nothing. Rymir then decided to take matters into his own hands with the help of his guardian, Lily Coley. They filed a civil lawsuit in December 2014, revealing that they've been trying to have Jay Z take a DNA test. And at this point, the drama had been going on for years. Well, Jay Z kept insisting that he wasn't the father and blocking all these tests, but for some reason he refused to take the test. You'd think that Jay Z would just take the test and get it over with, right? Well, this lawsuit has been dragging for 10 years, or 14 if you count Wanda's lawsuit, but still Jay Z is refusing, and that's definitely sus. Rymir obviously was upset about the situation, and he agreed to do a sit-down interview with The Sun online, where he denied allegations that he was after Jay Z's money, saying, "I don't want money or anything like that from Jay Z. I just want him to finally tell the truth to the world. He's supposed to be a positive role model for our community. He stands there screaming Black Lives Matter. Well, tell the truth and take responsibility. And if you say I'm not your son and nothing ever happened with my mom, then just take the test. If you're telling the truth, then why is your first answer whenever you're asked to take a paternity test no?" Well, his guardian Lily also spoke, and we finally found out something very interesting about the situation. See, allegedly Jay Z had knocked Wanda up when she was only 16, but he was 22. Yeah, that math is starting to math. And Lily said Wanda was only 16 when she allegedly met Sean, but she may have told him she was older. She fell pregnant but had no idea how to contact him. Now, to be fair, Lily spilled that Wanda told Jay Z she was 18, so he had no clue about her real age, but even though it wasn't technically his fault, it could still land him in trouble with the law. Well, fans have been side-eyeing this whole situation for years because he seems to always go after young women before they're legal, like Beyonce, Aaliyah, Foxy Brown. He's got quite the track record, so if people found out that he had got Wanda pregnant when she was 16, it would have made him look even worse. Well, Lily believes that the age factor is a big reason why Jay Z didn't want to acknowledge Rymir. When she and Rymir first reached out to Jay Z's lawyers to settle things quietly, they were surprisingly eager to keep it private and settle behind the scenes. She even claimed they offered to sign Rymir to Jay Z's label, but she turned him down. She said, "I got a call from his in-house lawyer and they were very helpful and we thought we would resolve this privately." They even talked about Rymir's music talent and whether it was a good time to put him on his record label, but he had to finish high school, so I said no. Suddenly, different lawyers got involved and their attitude completely changed. I think they realized that there was more at stake for Sean, given that Wanda was allegedly underage. Well, at this point, things started going left for Rymir, and he blames it all on Jay Z and Beyonce. Rymir and Lily claimed that Jay Z's lawyers were playing dirty and had allegedly bribed Rymir's lawyers to tank the case. According to reports, Lily launched a legal battle against their own lawyers, accusing him of colluding with the rapper's legal team to help him get out of taking the test. She claimed that they secretly colluded with the lawyers for Jay Z, causing procedure problems that caused the case to be thrown out of Philadelphia courts. Well, this isn't very surprising because going by what Jay Z and Beyonce have been accused of over the years, this doesn't seem surprising because it sounds like something they would do. But then Rymir is as tough as they come, and he didn't let that stop him. He filed a motion in the Supreme Court requesting that years of documents dating back to 2012 be released, claiming that keeping the records sealed prevented them from getting justice. The Supreme Court rejected his motion, stating it did not have the jurisdiction to reopen matters in the appeals court or to unseal records in the trial court. Rymir then filed a motion with the appellate division, which was also denied. It's not surprising that Rymir was getting frustrated because I'm getting frustrated on his behalf.
I'm not pointing no fingers. I'm just asking everybody, all the judges or anybody who's working on the case, to do what's right and do their job the correct way. Even if you overlook something or didn't see something, everybody makes mistakes, as I said before. But it's time to actually do your job and look at everything and get it correct, because you cannot use fraud to continue anything in this world. You can't use fraud to help you get forward in life. Then try to continue on your fraud.
And a lot of people have been defending the Carters, talking about how they didn't know the extent of the case because their lawyers and publicists protected them. But let me stop you there, because not only did Beyonce and Jay Z know every last detail about the situation, but they even shaded Rymir in their song Heard About Us. They accused Rymir of chasing clout and said, "Billie Jean in his prime. For the 1,000th time, the kid ain't mine. Online, they call me dad, kiddingly. You're not supposed to take this dad thing literally. We don't even really tool famous. I'm cool on that. Check the tool fingers. Every time I'm getting sued, I should show up to court without a suit. Yeah, every move is on the news, ain't it? It has its perks too, ain't it?" Well, Rymir clapped back in a track of his own, where he said, "Ninjas washed up, still doing tracks, like 55, where the F you at? Need to go back to your old days, grown man in his old ways." Well, he later revealed the reasoning behind his song in an interview, where he said, "This is not me being petty or trying to start a feud or anything like that. I want to put my song out there to let the world know I'm still going up, regardless of what anyone says. And Jay Z, I'm coming for the music industry. If he said he's not my dad 1,000 times, wouldn't it be easier to just take the test? This has gone beyond a paternity test now. It's about more than that." Well, his publicist also said, if Jay Z has put his feelings out there and heard about us, so Rymir should express his feelings through his music too. Jay Z is saying he has denied being Rymir's father 1,000 times. Well, I don't know who to, because he never said anything to Rymir or his family. Why is he on the run? Well, fans have accused Rymir of being after Jay Z's money for obvious reasons, but he's always insisted that it was all about his need to get closure and to be 100% sure who his father really is. He said, "It got pushed to the side and basically now I walk around and everyone's looking at me saying he's chasing Jay Z, he wants money, he's trying to get his 15 minutes of fame. This was never about money for me. My whole thing was just to see who my father was. And honestly, I got my own money. I work 2 jobs. I take care of my own business. I just needed closure and I wanted respect from the courts. Just like everybody else goes in there and gets respect and gets a fair due process, why didn't I get that? Why did I just get brushed to the side? Well, things have started to unravel because Rymir and Lily are now putting 2 and 2 together, and they suspect that Beyonce could be behind all this drama. Rymir and Lily recently spoke out and they made a couple of things very clear, including that intimidation tactics have been used against them for years. Rymir said he was shot at after he filed a civil lawsuit against Jay Z. Dr. Lily believes that Beyonce played a key role in persuading Jay Z from acknowledging Rymir and settling the case. Beyonce and Jay Z may have cruelly mocked Rymir in their music. They also revealed that they have allegedly been getting a lot of threats from Beyonce, which led them to do a sit-down interview with Liz Crokin to spill the tea on their situation in case anything happens to them.
The Beyonce thing came when a friend of mine who knew her, somebody in her camp, and she said something supposedly, this is all hearsay, about regarding saying Rymir needs to go away little boy, something to that effect. There was something out there.
Lily also revealed that multiple insiders said it was Beyonce who was convincing Jay Z not to take the test.
But people were saying that she's a big part of the problems for him, and some of the things that she was doing, a woman would not, she would have some sort of role in what her husband does. And if she was secure with herself and with the situation, not saying you gotta like it, she would help her husband handle it. Because this is a black community. This is a black man. Rymir's black.
So here's the scoop from the insiders. Beyonce's supposedly not just whispering in Jay Z's ear, she's also flat out banning him from taking the test or even reaching out to Rymir. According to reports, Beyonce's dead set on keeping the 3 kids she has with Jay Z as his only publicly acknowledged children. We're talking serious billions on the line here. Even though Rymir says he's not after the cash right now, Beyonce's skeptical. She's convinced that one day he'll want a piece of that billion-dollar pie, and she's ready to play hardball to make sure he doesn't get it. Well, fans have been definitely leaving some comments saying things like, avoiding doing the DNA test is a major red flag. I'm sorry, because if you're not the father, just do it to close the entire chapter. Also, if he indeed is the father, then isn't it predatory considering he was 22 whilst the mother was 16? I think Beyonce should be ashamed of herself. Why would any woman not want her man to be a father to all his kids? Don't make sense. They all trifling and so much criminal behavior in that industry among the higher ups. Something wrong with that. And it is sad when another woman prevents a man from being a responsible person and parent, and it is even sadder if said man allows a woman to have any weight on them doing right by said child. What harm can come from a DNA test if you're adamant? Then take the test. At this point, they should be ashamed. If this is your son, you owe him that much to take the test and do the right thing. And to the courts, order him to take the DNA test and get this charade over with. Y'all, the situation is definitely crazy and it can go a lot of different ways, but do y'all believe that Beyonce is really keeping Jay Z from doing the right thing? Or do you think that Jay Z is the one doing too much? Drop your thoughts and comments below and then check out this next video.